How are you?
Good. You know, I've actually been, writing a book about my life with Jill, and I sent it to CAA. I'm at like chapter 20, and yeah, I sent like a query letter with the first 50 pages yesterday.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's just it's um, it is it's we had a remarkable life, and I think the way that we um, started our life and the way that it was ended, quite frankly, is like you can't even, that I just serendipitously was walking behind her when she would take her last breath. I mean, and like I would catch her on in this fall as, you know,
Intense.
it is. And I talk a lot about, how we started our life, very much, the same way. When the first night after we went to bed, and hopefully nobody else is on this yet. But when she woke up, she said, besides my stupid, grin, was it I brought her into my arms and she had never felt so safe. And so the idea
Oh,
that here we are almost 36 years later, that she would fall into my arms and die in my arms is, you know, I wondered, did she realize it? You know, like that she had
yeah.
into my arms. And I think and just being homeless, living in a tent, being out in 1987, everything that we faced with the Supreme Court. I mean, that's one of the things I wrote, with the possibility of litigation. Um, how did we not have a marriage? How, you know, we, we did what we could do. In 1998, we had domestic partnership papers signed. And people are always telling us that somehow our life does not exist. And yet, it did for almost 36 years. So I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, I'm just trying to do some catch up right now. And I've been working on it for a long time. And then finally ran across some, um, I just thought, I don't know at the end of the day if anything will come of it. If not, I don't want to self publish at all. If something happens, it happens. Like I said, I have about 65,000 words and in my chapter 20. I've always had, I have about 5 different endings. Not that they're different, but what I'm not this person, meaning I've never been a person who has been impacted the way I have been impacted. Um, and I've been around, people, taking their last breath on their hospital beds. And I've been around death, but this has impacted me like in a way that has surprised me. And I was talking to my friends um, recently, and if you were to tell Jill that I was this person, she would call you a liar. And it'd be in Spanish, of course, but she would call you a liar because I was not this person who, you know, and so much has changed. Like I've become a Pollyanna. I mean, what the heck? Where did that come from? I mean, does that come from age? I don't know. So it's like, so anyway, we'll see. Um,
Well, good luck with the book. And you could self-publish.
I don't know. I mean, it's not that I can't, but it has been a good process for me to do this.
I'm sure.
Yeah, at the
I'm
end of the day.
sure.
So
Well, you'll know the right thing.
yeah, yeah. So hello, Anne Marie.
Hey, I do have an update for you. Um, so I sent this documentation to my friends in CICD at Red Hat. Um, and they do want to contribute to it. Um, The unvarnished input was that a lot of these tools are kind of like last generation, and there are some there are some newer tools that they would recommend in the list. Um, but also that they found the way that a lot of HTML was embedded into the structure of the document made it difficult to edit the pages.
Yeah, that's what I was worried that that was going to be a problem. Because all of the tables that we've added, that was my biggest concern all along. It does make it more difficult if you don't know Markdown
Yeah, well, even
and HTML.
does it have so what we've done with HTML, could it be done with Markdown? Because Markdown supports tables.
Markdown tables are worse than HTML tables. They're horrible. And they're not you can't do much with them.
It's true you can't do much with them. It's a lot of like vertical bars all over the place. Yeah.
All over the place. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's easier to learn the HTML version of a table than it is to try to figure out the vertical bars.
Yeah. Their suggestion was like, could it be generated from a YAML file? But then the problem with that is that easier or more difficult for somebody who's not a software engineer to understand, right?
To do the updates, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah. To maintain over time.
This might be a dumb suggestion, and if it is, no problem. Meaning, just tell me. But can they send it to me and I just do it?
I mean, that would be a way to
Like
get,
GitHub, like just say, this is what I recommend.
yeah, they could
Do-
just open an issue or something saying, or add comments, hey, add these tools here and let
Yeah,
somebody else handle the,
that might be the easiest. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that if they take the time and look at it, though, I think that they'll realize it's not as hard as they're thinking.
yeah, it's
You
doable.
maybe, yeah, it's doable. It's easily doable once you start realizing and you can copy. It
Yeah,
may be hard for people to understand when a row ends and some of the stuff you do have to have some coding background to work on HTML. It
for
looks
sure.
great, but in terms of the format, but I was concerned that this was going to be an issue. That's why I was pushing us not to do tables. Because if it's just, a section in a list, right?
Yeah.
Then it's
The
super
op
easy to update.
yeah, the OpenSSF specification itself is apparently generated from a YAML file, but that has its own, so that just has its own implications, right? So you edit a YAML file, which is easier to look at as a human than all that markup. But then in order to see what it looks like, you have to like run a script to generate the thing and then load the generated page. So it's harder
So
to
I would
read
say the
through.
way that if they don't want to do the editing themselves, is to
Mhm.
open an issue
Yeah.
or which page and
Yeah.
what tools need to be added.
Yeah. Or
And
you
then
can do
we can do
inline
it.
comments in GitHub too, right? One or the other.
I
Um,
think opening up an issue makes it more clear that somebody wants to add something.
okay.
And we're doing some stuff for Hacktoberfest, so that gives people pull requests that they can work on.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So
Yeah.
just say, okay, I think you should add this tool here, this tool here, this tool here. And I think each of them gets like a one-liner description of why it's in the table.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So
Yeah.
yeah, just tell them to open the issue. I think that's the easiest way to do it if they don't want to touch the code. Just like a bug in software, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So hopefully we'll get some contributions from there. And yeah, at least two of them did start taking a serious look at it, so that's good.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm very glad to hear that. So
Oh,
I did start a blog for Roxanne. Uh, where is it?
yeah, I went out and saw that. And we had Joseph join.
Hi, Joseph.
Hello, Joseph.
Hi, Tracy. Hi, Kate. Just wanted to see what was going on. I haven't been to any of these meetings, so just wanted to sort of see how things go over here. So,
Absolutely. How have you been, Joseph? I haven't
doing
spoken to you
well.
in forever.
Yes, yes. We're trying to be active in the community too. So doing a lot of talk with Sasha and all.
Well, you're welcome anytime. Absolutely anytime. You should join one of the Ortelius meetings. Everybody would be so happy to see you.
Do that.
We do talk about you once in a while. We're like, anybody talk to Joseph lately? So now I can say, yes, he showed up to one of the CICD cybersecurity meetings. So I did create a Hacktoberfest document. I'm going to share it. I just go through and it's almost the same format as what I do for Ortelius. I put all the ways to get started and to register and how to join us. I listed everything for finding issues to work on. And then I did these featured issues. I did a few good first-time issues, which is this update and review and update, build and deploy. I didn't go through every section. I just didn't have time. It'd be a lot, but it gives people an idea. And if somebody wants to add, doing the same thing for the other two categories, I'm open to that. I just didn't have time to go through and create the issues and go through the process. There's some existing issues out there already, so I went ahead and listed those as website navigation issues, and that's where we're at. I think it's enough, especially if we get other issues that are created. Anne Marie, the ones that you've pointed out, we can go ahead and label them Hacktoberfest. Let me stop share. Let me
That's a
share
good
again.
idea.
I'll just share everything here.
Yep, I like that. I'm trying to multitask and reply back on that internal thread. Could give them that advice too.
So there are the issues that are out there now. There's 10. Oh, we got some pull requests to work on. I have them listed as good first issue and Hacktoberfest. Oh, how come that one doesn't have a hack? So I'm pretty much making sure everything's labeled for Hacktoberfest. So everything should be.
Okay, and when is that Hacktoberfest again?
The month of October.
Great.
So we have everything's labeled as most of everything. If you have some background in HTML, you can update. But just reviewing and updating these, it may be challenging if you don't have the HTML experience. So we'll just have to see how people do. From a documentation perspective, that might be a challenge for them.
I get access to these issues.
Oh yeah, by the way, Ralph is one of my Red Hat folks.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the best way. Creating these issues, I think, are really good. So basically, if he could update that and say, I'm just going to delete, I don't think Defect Dojo belongs in this space, then he could get a pull request. Then he could create a pull request, which would be great, because if he was doing Oktoberfest, he'd get credit for at least one pull request. So anyway, we'll just have to start watching the issues and start working. And this is what we have. This is where we want to be, right? We want to be able to get it to where we have issues and pull requests, and the document is starting to be more of a living document.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
And just FYI, like the Red Hatters probably don't care about Hacktoberfest and they'd be happy for somebody else to do the pull request, but they will probably also do pull requests.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they want to fix something, that's great.
Right.
So we probably should answer this question.
Yeah.
Centralize and track security testing result for build and deploy tool chains. And that is indeed what it does, but what does it do as for this section? That was the question. So what is it, for instance? Okay, and phase 2 PO3. Okay, phase 2 PO3.
Yeah, so I actually quoted PO3 right there in the issue.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oops.
So the description is use automation to reduce human effort and improve the accuracy, reproducibility, usability, and comprehensiveness of security practices throughout the SDLC. So yeah, I guess it is kind of hard. Does Defect Dojo do that?
I'm trying to find if there was something written about Defect Dojo in that line or if it's missing.
Yeah.
So it's in phase 2, PO3.
Phase 2, PO3.
Centralizes and tracks security testing results for build and deploy tool chains. And the high level is use automate. So I think that my response to that would be it.
Isn't it all about the
Yeah, I don't know how to
the,
answer his question.
it seems like this is for me, when I look at it, it actually fulfills 3.1 by it being, I mean, this is what I would think, by it actually being a part of the tool chain and identifying those risks. As well as how the components are integrated with each other.
There's a typo.
So PO33 is that you've configured tools to generate artifacts in support of the practices. Does Defect Dojo generate artifacts?
No, so there's another typo. We're gonna find a lot of these. It's a good time for Oktoberfest to start to get these fixed. But for that, I would say we should just if we can't clearly answer that question, we should just take Defect Dojo out of that section. And
Yeah.
yeah, simple enough, right?
Yeah, it probably belongs more in the sections where like Jira and
Yeah.
GitHub and stuff belong. Yeah.
And sometime when I was doing this, I was working on it pretty hastily. I was copying the tables over. So it may have come from,
Like there.
yeah, like I copied it, but it says it's a little bit different here. But yeah, I would say I'll go ahead and make it update and take Defect Dojo out of that. And, if Defect Dojo comes along and they say, hey, we fit into this, then we have to acknowledge that they fit into that. So I will address that issue.
Yeah. And if they do,
But
maybe
I'm gonna wait till Hacktoberfest, so.
Okay. So for
It does say just quickly that, like, if you do Defect Dojo create artifact, it does, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's more creative, but it does say the most common way to create or add artifacts is by importing the results of a security scan.
which I guess then the security scan would be the thing that created the artifact.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's get a bunch of these on the list, and we will encourage the group, for those of us who want to play, to get their Hacktoberfest digital badge by working on it. And we'll just leave that one out there as one that somebody can, because that's just, doing an update, either confirming why it should be in there or deleting it.
Good idea.
So we'll leave the team to work on it. I am working on my presentation. I have my recording tomorrow for DevOps Experience to do to announce this guide. And Roxanne is doing some work on the website. She's going to split it out. So right now, the way this is, it is under a Netlify app. It's not in the CDF domain, which it should be. And it is underneath this CI/CD Cybersecurity SIG. So she wants to separate the two websites. She wants to put the guide out underneath the CDF and this will have its own guide. It will refer to it, but she wants this to have its own URL. So she's working on that. And I think she has a website or a Google Doc out there somewhere that may have a list of stuff that she's working on. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. I know she shared a doc with me that had some stuff about the website, and I told her everything I thought looked good. I don't see it though. Did you? I know, Kate,
Yeah.
I'm sure she sent it to you.
Yeah, and I thought the same thing. I thought it looked good. And are you talking about this? Let's see here.
It was recent. It was just like in the last month.
Google Doc. Are you talking about this? Oh,
Yes, I
okay.
am. So it looks like and that shows that she's going to split the two apart, which I think is fine. I just stood this up using a template from the CI/CD best practices SIG, just to get it up so we can start working on it. But I think it is time to split it.
And she's going to be taking
She,
away more clicks and stuff like that too, which I thought was
yeah, yeah, she's on vacation right now, so maybe on our next call we can get more understanding of how she wants to do that.
very good.
But I do think it should be, we should be able to go to, Kate, or I'll go back, CD Foundation. Let me go back to, it should be out here. So like right here, adopt best practices. Look familiar?
Yeah.
This is what I stole from. Um,
Nice.
Here's under community, here's the guide that they were working on. So that's what I copied to get us started. But I think what she wants to do is to be able to have under resources, let's see if this best. She wants to go under resources for it to go directly to the guide, as opposed to going to the SIG page. So she wants us, the SIG to have its own page and the guide to have its own page. So that's what she's working on. So if we go to community, special interest groups, this one, if we click learn more, it would just be the cybersecurity website. Just this website, just this page, instead of us having one that looks like what we have. Does that make sense what she's trying to do? So
Oh,
this
yeah.
will not say SIG anymore. And this will be a front end for the page itself. That's basically what she's trying to do.
Why
Oh,
is it not going to be a SIG?
because it will be the guide, it'll say CSC
Oh,
Cybersecurity Guide,
yeah. Sorry.
and it won't be join our team, won't have resources, I don't think. It'll just be the guide and it'll have a link to the guide itself.
Okay. And thanks, Anne Marie. I looked at that tool list. It looks real good.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do? I'll at least open an issue because I don't know if I'll have time, but I'll open an issue saying it would be good if somebody could go through this friends list and figure out
Yeah.
where these tools slot in. And these are little one-liner descriptions of the tools right there that, people can use.
Yeah, it looks perfect. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and
Is
then
that in the chat?
Yeah.
Andrews, who's another one of my CI/CD Red Hat friends, said he would mention this to the in toto community and see if any of them want to take a look.
Yes,
And
because
so,
they're in there quite, They're in there in a lot of places, so they should look at it and see if there's other things that they do that I didn't catch. I try to collect, I looked through the OpenSSF tools and tried to do my best to try to find out where they belonged. In Toto was one that was easier to figure out.
Yeah.
And quick question for, is it, Tracy, one of the things that you mentioned was about reaching out to like some of these tools that are listed a few times and writing, blogs about, and isn't it a good, something that you had mentioned, a good way to reach out to, I don't know, SEMGREP and just say, hey, you're listed on this tool, come take a look, and are you, can you fit in elsewhere, and sort of like write a little blog about that, and or with them.
We might just go ahead and find their GitHub repos and create an issue.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Just say, hey, this document's out here. You're listed in it. It'd be great if you could review it, because they can go close it if they don't want to do it. So that might be the way we do it.
That's a great idea. Okay.
And in the guide itself, some of them go right to the GitHub repo, and some of them go to their website where we can get to the GitHub repo. So.
Okay.
And I did reach out to Stacy Potter, who's the new community manager at OpenSSF. And she is going to work with us next year. She's going to allocate some budget next year for doing meetups around this project.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so she's going to get the OpenSSF involved since we're referencing their tools.
Oh, that's super.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Good.
All right.
So other than that, I think we're just, like I say, I think what we want to be able to do is start having these meetings where we're going through issues and pull requests and making sure they're getting addressed. Wouldn't that be nice? Would
Yeah.
mean that we would actually have a community working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reviewing issues and PRs would be awesome.
It would be really awesome if that's where we got to, because that's where we want it to be. So I feel like we're going in the right direction anyway. And thank you, Anne Marie, for getting Red Hatters to take a look at it and start giving feedback. It's awesome.
Yeah, little by little.
Yeah. All right. Well, Joseph, please show up to an Artilius meeting. Say hello. Next week is the Artilius. The next Thursday is the Artilius architecture. They'd love to see you.
Oh, great! I'll be there next week.
Okay. Next week, next Thursday.
All
I
right.
love the new photo too.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
We'll talk to you all later.
Take care.
Thanks.
Right. Bye.